Good morning on this beautiful day we have that the Lord sent us. Our text this morning is in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, starting with verse 24. Let me read it to you. Therefore, everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock. The rain came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, yet it did not fall, because it had its foundation on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not put them into practice is like a foolish man who built his house on sand. The rains came down, the streams rose, the winds blew and beat against that house, and it fell with a great crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching, because he taught as one who had authority and not as the teachers of the law. We need to put our foundation on the rock. We're going through some crisis, and a lot of people are concerned. Political, economic, violence, drug abuse. Our world is shaking, and the hearts of many people are crying because we want certainty in an uncertain world. We live in uncertain times. Let me tell you this little story. There was a small village way out in the middle of nowhere, and then there was an earthquake. And it shook everything, and the people panicked, and they were running up and down and back and forth, and they were scared. And one of the villagers turned around and saw an elderly lady sitting down, calm as could be, just beaming, real joyful. And so he finally got up the nerve to get up close to her and says, "Are you not scared of what's going on?" "Oh no," she says, "I'm not scared." She says, "I'm glad to know a God who can shake the world." You know what? We need to be glad that we know a God who is in control of everything. He's in control because crisis come into our life, because of pandemic, because of all kinds of concerns. We need to be glad that the Lord is still in control. Just because we're going through crisis down here doesn't mean he's not on the throne. He's still on the throne. Glory to God. That's the God that we serve. That's who we serve. So we need to put our trust not on man. Man can't save us. The president, he can't save us. The medical profession, they're looking for an antivirus, a solution. They can't say. Our help comes from above. It is He who gives wisdom to make good decisions. He who gives wisdom to the medical profession to find a cure. So we need to be praying for our leaders, for the president to make wise decisions that will help the people, for our medical profession that the Lord will touch their understanding and be able to find a cure. Our help comes from above. That's where we need to put that's the rock, that's the foundation we're talking about. When we build on that solid foundation and the storms of life come, we have nothing to worry because we know where we have set our foundation on a solid foundation. It is times like these that reveal how strong your faith is. Is it for real, or has it been deceiving you all along? When you build on the rock, when the storms of life come, you have no worries. You're like that elderly gal she's glad to know a God who is in control. We need to learn to trust Him. And the book of Mark tells us about when you see war